Welcome to the Vegas Insider channel here on YouTube as we take a look at college football week 4, but it's week 1 in the SEC as the Southeastern Conference finally gets going at the end of September. Kevin Rogers with you, and I'm joined by Brian Edwards, longtime college football handicapper from VegasInsider.com. And Brian's going to break down 3 of his top plays from the SEC coming up on Saturday. And Brian will begin with your top favorite play, the Florida Gators heading to Oxford to take on Lane Kiffin and the Ole Miss Rebels. And the Gators here are 14.5-point favorite.
Yeah, I like the Gators here. Now, I think you should buy the half point to the key number of 14 if possible. Under Dan Mullen, Florida is 5-1 against the spread as a road favorite. The only non-cover was they won by 8 at Kentucky as an 8.5-point favorite, so only lost by a half point. UF brings back a ton of talent. They finally have a quarterback they feel good about returning literally since Tebow in 2009. Tons of talent on defense. They've added a former 5-star Brenton Cox, a transfer from Georgia. They've also added a former 5-star Penn State receiver, Justin Shorter. They are going to have 2 guys out, Kyrie Campbell and Brad Stewart. Mullen hasn't said why. I'm not sure if it's a suspension or a COVID situation. But other than that, Florida is healthy. They've got one O-lineman who's going to miss this week. But the Gators, I think, are primed to ruin Lane Kiffin's debut. Now, Kiffin's got a dangerous quarterback in John Rice Plumlee to run the ball, but I don't think Ole Miss is going to be able to hang for Florida over 60 minutes. I think Florida hangs about 45 on Ole Miss and wins a 45 to 20-ish type of game.
So Brian likes the Gators as his top favorite play. Now for the top underdog, Mississippi State heads to LSU in Mike Leach's debut as head coach of the Bulldogs, Brian.
Yeah, Mississippi State is actually 0-6 in its last 6 as a road underdog, but I don't think that has relevance because Mike Leach, in his last 24 as a double-digit dog, he is 18-6 against the spread with 6 outright wins. He's got KJ Costello at quarterback, and I give Mississippi State the QB edge because Miles Brennan is making his first start for LSU. KJ Costello was a second-team all Pac-12 in 2018 before an injury-riddled campaign. He's got Keelan Hill, who might be the best running back in the SEC, was a 4th-team All-American last year. And LSU, with all of their opt-outs, they only have 4 starters back total, 2 on each side of the ball. And they lost Joe Brady, their offensive guru, and Dave Aranda, their DC. And without, much of a crowd, I'm pretty sure LSU has 20 or 25% crowd, but it won't be the normal Tiger Stadium atmosphere. I like Mississippi State plus 17. If your number is 16.5, buy the half point to the key number of 17.
And for your final play, a first half play, Alabama heads on the road to Missouri in the post-Tua era. Now Mac Jones handed the keys to the offense as the Crimson Tide taking on the Tigers.
Yeah, Missouri, Eli Drinkwitz has not announced who he's even going to go with at quarterback yet. I'm suspecting Sean Robinson, the transfer from TCU. Whatever the case, Missouri's completely outmatched here. Now, there were reports last week that they were going to be without 12 guys because of COVID. Turns out they had some false positives. They're only going to be without 7 guys. So 5 more are still in. But Alabama, I think they are – first off, I like their over on the win total at 8.5. It might be around minus 140. If some books are offering 9 at a cheaper price, I'm even okay with that. Barring a COVID outbreak, I think Alabama goes 10-0 in SEC play. And I don't like them as much as my other plays, but minus 15.5 in the first half. I think they cover that, and they'll probably cover the 27 for the game. And I'm not against a Najee Harris small play at 35-1 to win the Heisman. Alabama will be the class of the SEC West for sure.
And review Brian's plays for Saturday inside the SEC. He's laying the points with the Gators at Ole Miss, taking the points with Mississippi State at LSU, and also a first-half play on Alabama against Missouri. Brian, thanks so much for joining us. We'll talk to you next week.
Thanks, buddy.
And there is Brian Edwards. I am Kevin Rogers. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel here at Vegas Insider. Thanks again for watching, and best of luck with your bets.